With the help of a suitable diagram, describe the logistic population growth curve. Students, now let us study about the logistic population growth curve. Now in this picture, there are two types of population growth curve. The first one, which is representing in a red line. Now this is called as exponential growth curve, and this is a formula for exponential growth curve. Now the blue line indicates it is the logistic growth curve. Now by this graph, there is a clear indication. The first population is increasing. There is no decline. So this kind of growth in a population is called as exponential growth. Now coming to the second one, initially the size of the population is increasing slowly, but after a while the population increases in an exponential manner and then it starts declining when it reaches a certain stage. Now this stage or beyond this there would be no further increase. So this blue line stops here. It will either decrease from here or it will increase, but above this it will not go. Above this line there will be no further increase in the population size, and this line is called as carrying capacity. It is represented by the letter K. So that means in nature, take any habitat, it has resources. So all these resources are required for the population to survive, grow, reproduce and continue its species. So these resources will support only a limited number of individuals in that particular habitat. Once that population reaches that limited number, now that particular habitat will not support beyond that limited resources. That means this is the maximum capacity of a habitat where it can hold the population. So once the population reaches this stage, it cannot increase further because there are no available resources in the environment for the organism to live. So resources becomes a limiting factor. Now such kind of a growth curve is called as logistic growth curve, and this is limited by the resources available in the environment. And this stage or this place where the maximum growth is seen, that is called as carrying capacity. Now if we analyze this logistic growth curve, initially there is a lag phase. So this part is called as lag phase, and slowly there is an increase in the population size, and finally it decreases and it reaches the carrying capacity. And once it reaches the carrying capacity, there would be no further increase in the population size. Now this can be explained by using the formula dn by dt is equal to Rn k minus n by the k, where n represents it is the population density at time t, R is the intrinsic rate of natural increase, and k is the carrying capacity. Now if we look at the characteristics of the logistic or the sigmoid growth curve, the another name for this is called as sigmoid growth curve. Now here the resources are the limiting factor. So beyond that limiting factor, the population cannot grow. Now that is called as the carrying capacity of the environment. First, a stationary or a steady phase is reached, that is during the carrying capacity. Now this would be stationary or the steady state. And then it has four phases: the lag, log, declaration and study. Now this is the lag phase, this is the log, declaration and study phase, and this is more common, that is examples of wildlife. So if you go to the forest where the resources are available, so only to certain amount the forest can support the population of a particular species, and later on, even if the organism is stable to reproduce, but resources become limiting factor, and without the resources we know that the organism cannot survive.